What cities do you find especially beautiful? We all have our favorites. However, any two people will not necessarily agree because, as Plato was the first to say, beauty lies in the eye of the beholder. Are our differences based on our demographics? For example, do men and women cite different cities as being beautiful? How about younger people compared to older folks? Are there differences in opinions based on a person's home continent, years of education, number of countries visited, or even basic personality type? To find out, citiesbeautiful.org surveyed people from around the world. Citiesbeautiful.org is a website dedicated to a greater understanding and appreciation of beautiful cities everywhere. Among the website's many features are photo tours of 25 cities on 6 continents, a Cities Beautiful Index for ranking the 25 cities, and interactive maps of 1,800 beautiful locations in the 25 cities, complete with photos and descriptions of each. Specifically concerning demographic differences, also at the Cities Beautiful website is a free psychometric test which website visitors take to determine what specific types of civic features are most beautiful to them. The ranking test includes questions on which cities each visitors find the most beautiful, and questions on the visitor's gender, age, and other basic demographics. Each test taker's demographic profile can thus be correlated to the cities that the test taker said are the most beautiful. This chart shows how often each of the 25 cities was named. Paris was the most popular, selected by more than 16% of the test takers. Selected less often than Paris were Barcelona and Rome, then London and Amsterdam, and so on down the list. Incidentally, a very similar rank has emerged in other Cities Beautiful surveys. That is, Paris is usually in first place. Barcelona, Rome, and London take turns being in second place, and so on, in the other surveys. The consistency of the rankings between surveys has been confirmed statistically, and accordingly, all future surveys are likely to show similar results. Focusing now on demographic differences, here's a graph of the declared beautiful cities of men compared to women. For some cities, men and women agree in equal measure. For example, Rio de Janeiro, named by 6% of male test takers and 6% of female test takers. However, men and women obviously disagree on other cities, for example, Chicago, favored by men, and Vancouver, favored by women. This is a graph of the preferences of younger people compared to older people. Again, there are cities in which the two groups agree exactly. For example, Prague, cited by 5% of both groups. But for other cities, they obviously disagree. Sydney is preferred by younger test takers, and Kyoto is favored by older test takers. Individual cities aside, we cannot clearly see whether people of different ages select different cities as being beautiful. Discerning an overall pattern is even more difficult when a demographic variable has more than 2 values. Here are the results based on how much education the test takers had. Again, overall, we cannot clearly see whether people of different educational backgrounds select different beautiful cities. To reliably analyze the data and draw valid conclusions, we must rely on statistical tests. Accordingly, citiesbeautiful.org retained an independent statistics professor to identify any statistically significant demographic differences in perceptions of civic beauty. The details of the sample sizes, types of statistical tests performed, confidence intervals, etc., are available in a paper at the citiesbeautiful.org website. The link for that paper will be given at the end of this video. For now, let's just look at the overall results. With a high degree of confidence, we can predict that a person who graduated from college will choose a significantly different list of the most beautiful cities than a person with a high school degree or less. The same is true for a college graduate compared to a person with an advanced degree. With a high degree of confidence, we can predict that a person whose principal language is English will choose a significantly different list of beautiful cities than a Spanish speaker. Similarly, we can predict that a person who grew up in North America will choose a significantly different set of cities than persons who grew up in Africa, Asia, or Australia, Polynesia. The same holds for Europeans compared to persons who grew up in those other 3 continents. as well as for South Americans compared to people who grew up in Africa or Asia. Turning to personality traits, with a high degree of confidence, we can predict that a person who tests low on the openness scale will choose a significantly different list of beautiful cities than a person who tests high on the openness scale. The same holds for persons who test at opposite ends of the conscientiousness scale and agreeableness scale. Finally, with a lower degree of confidence, we can predict that the list of beautiful cities chosen by a woman will differ from that chosen by a man. On the other hand, for a number of demographic variables, we cannot predict statistically significant differences in choices of beautiful cities. We cannot predict significant differences based on age, number of countries lived in, number of countries visited, nor high school education compared to advanced degrees. Recall that persons with a college degree do differ significantly, both from persons with a high school degree and with persons with an advanced degree. Yet persons with a high school education do not differ significantly from persons with an advanced degree. Possible reasons for college graduates being the odd persons out requires further research. We cannot predict significant differences based on home continent in the instances shown on your screen. For example, we cannot predict that North Americans will differ significantly from Europeans. Finally, we cannot predict statistically significant differences in choices of beautiful cities based on two of the big five personality types, extroversion and neuroticism. Who can benefit from our findings? One example in the private sector are businesses focusing on tourism, tour operators, cruise lines, travel magazines, etc. Business clients coming from North America will have significantly different interests than clients in Asia, and accordingly, tourism marketing materials for these two groups should be different. On the other hand, tourism marketing materials can be the same for clients from North America and Europe because our findings show no statistically significant difference between these two groups. In the public sector, government agencies responsible for city planning, economic development, and tourism could delve into the success stories of Paris, Barcelona, Rome, and other cities that consistently top the list of beautiful cities. What are the factors that make these cities so popular? Can some or all of those factors be emulated by other cities? Success story research could begin with the City Beautiful Index, which has been validated statistically for predicting which cities will be listed as the most beautiful by any given group of people. An explanation of the Cities Beautiful Index methodology can be found in the free ebook available for reading and downloading at the citiesbeautiful.org website. In academia, the above findings and implications for further research are relevant to individual courses or entire degree programs in numerous fields. In conclusion, demographic differences in perceptions of beautiful cities are real and are far-reaching. For further information, here is the location of a 10-page article available at the blog tab of the Cities Beautiful website. Thank you for watching. We hope you will recommend this video to friends, colleagues, and family members who share an interest in beautiful cities. And please feel free to contact us with any questions or comments you may have.